All right. So let's start our discussion again. Yeah. So let's move to last problem in department accounts. I'll share the question on the screen. You can see that. Yeah. I'll read out the question, please see. Mega Limited has two departments, A and B. From the following particulars, prepare departmental trading P&L account for the year ended 31st March 2014. I think this is a simple trading problem. So you have opening stock plus purchases, carriage inwards, wages, sales, purchased goods transferred by A to B and B to A, finished goods transferred by A to B and B to A, return of finished goods from A to B and B to A, closing stock, purchased goods, finished goods, both are there. Purchased goods have been transferred manually at their respective departmental purchase cost, and finished goods at departmental market price and that 30% of the closing finished stock with each department represents finished goods received from the other department. Okay, so this is the information which he has mentioned here. So with this info, we are supposed to prepare departmental trading P&L account for each of these and then prepare general P&L account. Okay, so now what is difficult in this problem? Let's first understand that. If you observe this problem, it is about two departments where both are transferring to each other. So it is, you cannot call it as a process flow department. Both of the departments are interdependent. Okay, so it could be considered as interdependent. And now let us start with the solution. Okay, so let us start here. Now, if you observe in the question, he mentions that yeah. In the question, he says there is opening stock, there is purchases, everything, every detail is given. That means all these can be considered by us for preparing the trading P&L account of each of these independent departments. Okay. After that is done, we are supposed to prepare a combined trading P&L account. That is your entity's P&L account for the company as a whole. Okay. So that's the objective what we are supposed to do, and in which we will write all the adjustments for unrealized profits. Okay. So let's go ahead with it. So start with departmental trading account. Okay. I would take it as two columns. One is for department A, second is for department B. Okay. Same way in credit side also. Department AB, department trading account is what we are preparing now. In this, let's go ahead with opening stock. Opening stock he has mentioned as He has mentioned as cost 70,000 and 54,000. Always departmental trading account would be prepared at cost only. Okay. So opening stock is 70,000 and 54,000. Okay. To purchases, he has mentioned that there are some purchases. Purchase, if you see, 3,92,000 and 2,98,000. Okay. Then to carriage inward, it is 6,000 and 9,000. Okay. To wages he has mentioned as 54,000 and 36,000. Okay. So these are the information which he has mentioned about the debits. And after this, there are some transfers. I'll record them a little later. First, let us go ahead with on the credit side, sales are there. By sales, it is given as 5,72,000 and 4,60,000. Okay. I'm actually taking them as net. Okay. Next. There are some transfer of goods. And there are some returns also. Transfer of goods and returns. So let us take them to transfers. Okay. Now there are two varieties of transfers which are made. One is directly purchased goods are transferred. Second, even the finished goods are also transferred. Okay. So let us take both of these. Okay. Now purchased goods, what did he convey? So please see the question once. Purchased goods transferred from B to A, it is 50,000. That means 50,000 is supposed to be added in A column, and in B column 50,000 should be deducted. Okay. And then from A to B, it is 36,000. So 36,000 should be added in B's column, and in A's column 36,000 should be credited. Clear? Same way finished goods. Finished goods, please see. You have finished goods, less returns also. Returns are also there. You need to be cautious here. Okay. So finished goods transferred by B to A. That means in A you have got 1,50,000, and in B it got reduced by 1,50,000. Okay. And from A to B it is 1,75,000. And in A column, it should reduce by 1,75,000. So we are crediting. Okay. Next. So these are basically nothing but transfers. Here it is by transfers. Next. Now you are supposed to record for transfer returned. Okay. Returns. Returns. Here it is only finished goods which are being returned. Okay. Now returns, let us see what has happened. Return of finished goods by department B to A. That means In A department, it got increased. In B department, it got decreased. Yes or no? So add in A department 45,000 and deduct in B department, which is 45,000. Okay. I think it should be in here. Next, same way from department A to B. A to B, it is 32,000. That means 32,000 is what which has come to department B, and 32,000 is what which has gone out of department A. Okay. So this is how you would record for returns. Once this is done, I think almost all items of transfers are also recorded. Transfers are also recorded. Yeah, here's a question. Can we take transfers net of returns? Yes, you can. No wrong. Okay. Net of returns is absolutely fine. You can take. Okay. So next, with this, fairly speaking, all transactions are done. Now what we are supposed to take is closing balances by closing stock. By closing stock, we are supposed to take, he has mentioned about purchased goods and also finished goods. So both we are supposed to consider. Both we are supposed to consider. Now, in the question, he has directly told you only about, okay, fine. In the question, he has told you both purchased goods and finished goods, both are mentioned. 24,000, 30,000, 1,02,000 and 62,000. Okay. So let us take them as it is. 24,000, 30,000. Okay. Then 1,02,000 and 62,000. So these are the values which are given to you. Now let us arrive at the gross profits. Okay. To gross profit, it is going to be this minus sum of all the above, which is 1,74,000 and 1,57,000. 1,74,000 and 1,50,000. This is the gross profit. Okay. So with this, we are done preparing departmental trading accounts. Departmental trading accounts. Now, we are supposed to prepare departmental P&L account. That is your nothing but your general P&L account for the company as a whole, for Mega as a whole. Okay. So let us do that now. Profit and loss account for Mega Limited. Okay. As a whole, we are supposed to do. Again, let's take same particulars. Okay. However, here it's not going to be departments, it's directly amount. Okay. So these are your columns, what you have. Okay. So by department gross profit. Okay. So first you have department A department gross profit, which is 1,74,000. Okay. Department B gross profit, which is gonna be 1,57,000. These are your gross profits. Okay. Now from this, you are supposed to see if there are any common expenses by this company. He did not mention anything about your common expenses. Okay. So directly we can go ahead with providing for URP. Okay. So to URP, let us do some working for this to calculate what is the amount of unrealized profits. Okay. So first of all, do you know the percentage of profits being made by these guys? Do you know the percentage of profits being made by these guys? We do not know. So we'll have to first calculate the gross profit margins. We'll have to calculate the gross profit margins first, and only then go ahead with preparing the entire solution to it. Okay. Okay. So I'll leave some 5-6 lines space for this. Now let me come down. Working note 1. Calculation of gross profit percentage in the current year. Okay. So for this, I'll have to do it for both the departments independently. So since I have data directly, I'll do it using 2 columns at a time. Okay. So particulars, department A and department B. So you have 2 departments here. Okay. So in this, let us take sales. Sales for department A, if you observe here, 5,72,000 and 4,60,000. Okay. Sales to external parties, this is. It is basically this and 4,60,000. Okay. And apart from that, add intercompany transfers. So what are the intercompany transfers? There is transfer of 1,75,000, right? Plus 36,000. Especially, I mean, like if it is finished goods only, I'm supposed to consider, because purchase are transferred at cost only. Okay. So it is finished goods which I'm supposed to take. So it's 1,75,000 minus a return of goods is also there, which we are supposed to consider. Okay. So 1,75,000. Okay. Next, less returns. Returns are given as 45,000 is returned. In same way, 32,000 is returned from the other entity. Okay. So these are the returns which I am supposed to take, because these are returned back to me. Okay. So net is what I have is, so this plus 1,75,000 minus 45,000 is my net sales. Okay. Net sales during the year. Now, gross profit is already mentioned. Gross profit is already calculated by us. It is 1,74,000 and 1,57,000 something. Okay. So lakh and 74 and 1,57,000. These are our gross profits. Okay. Now, so we can calculate the amount of percentage, the percentage of gross profit, GP as a percentage is equal to lakh and 74,000 divided by 7,02,000, which comes to 24.78. If you do it as a percentage, okay, you get it as 25, but it is 24.7879, whatever. Okay. Same way for department B, it is going to be 27.16. Clear? These are the percentages what we have. Now, let us calculate the amount of profit to be identified in closing stock. That is for reversal. Amount of profit to be reversed. Okay. So working note 2, working note 1 is over. This is your final answer. Okay. Working note 2, calculation of URP in closing stock. Okay. Again, we have two columns. Same particulars in department AB. Particulars department A, department B. Okay. Now, how much is the closing stock you have in department A? In department A, closing stock is 1,02,000. Okay. Now, out of 1,02,000, what did he mention about the stock which has come from the other department, department? So please read the question here carefully. Please read. I'm highlighting it. Purchased goods have been transferred mutually at their respective departmental purchase cost. That means there is no profit markup at all in it. And finished goods at departmental markup price, and that 30% of the closing stock with each department represents finished goods received from the other department. That means out of 1,02,000 which I am stating as mine, in that 30% is from department B in department A. On that I should calculate the amount of percentage of profit. Okay. So now let us do that. Let us do that. So 1,02,000 is department A's closing stock. Okay. Closing stock is 1,02,000 and 62,000. Okay. Now 30% of above is equal to this into 30%. Okay. 30,600 and 18,600. Now you need to be really cautious here. 30,600 is the price at which A bought from B. A bought from B at a markup of 27.16. Okay. Because B would have charged 27.16 as profit percentage. A would have charged 24.79. Why I am stressing on this very much is generally students commit a mistake here. They would calculate 24.79 on 30,600. That's mistake. Why is it a mistake? Because 30,600 is the price at which A bought from B. The price at which A bought from B. That means B would have charged a profit percentage of 27.16 on it. Okay. For that reason, I am specifically mentioning. Okay. So next, write down profit percentage to be applied is equal to this. Okay. So for this for department B, it is other way around. Okay. Now, so URP is equal to this into this. 8,311 is for department A, and 4,610 or 611, whatever, is for department B. Okay. So these two numbers are what important for us are. Clear? So URP is going to be this. Now that we are done with this, with calculating this, let's go ahead and see what is going to be the net profit. Now, first of all, did he tell you anything about opening stock? Did he tell you about anything about opening stock? Since nothing is mentioned, we will not bother about URP in opening stock. Okay, we will assume that they all are purchased goods only. They are not at all finished goods. Okay, that is the assumption what we would take, because otherwise what we would have done, we will be adjusting the amount of closing URP out of the opening, and only the balance we will be charging off here in P&L. Yes or no? So now you don't have that part. You can directly go ahead and provide for URP to provision for URP. Okay. Department A, department B. Okay. So it's going to be 8311 and 4610. Okay. So on deducting these two, finally what you get is your net profit. That's all. Okay. To net profit equal to this minus sum of these two. So it's going to be 3,18,078. This is your net profit for the entire period. Clear? So I hope I have solved all the problems. We have solved all the questions. There are few questions which are being repeated, which I did not solve, and they are for you to solve. Okay, for you to solve. And with this, we are done with department accounts. Okay. So we hardly took, maybe in the morning we spent around 4 hours, and in the afternoon 1 hour, hardly 1 hour. So all put together 4.5 to 5 hours. We are done with one unit. Okay. So I want you guys to practice at such speed, so that if we try working out faster, it will actually help you in the examination to solve more questions at the time available. Okay. So this is with it. Now let us go ahead with other topics in some time now. Okay.